Welcome back to NewsWire here on SportsGrid. We got Matt Lutovsky in the house from Sporting News. We'll touch on the very latest in Major League Baseball, go around the National League West today. Matt, once again, great to have you back here on NewsWire on this President's Day. Thanks for coming on the show. All right, so good news for the Dodgers, as if they really needed any more good news. Shohei Ohtani back on the mound, throwing his first bullpen of spring training. This is as close, Matt, to a super team as we have seen in a long time. I know that the Yankees won a bunch of World Series in 96 and 98, and they sort of had that dynasty there for a while. But the Dodgers are really in a position not just to be happy to make the postseason, but anything less than winning the World Series. I mean, that's super high expectations.
Yeah, it's probably an interesting feeling for the fans, right? Because it's all or nothing. You got to win, but certainly I think most fan bases would trade places with them right now, knowing they're going into the season with the ability to root for this team. And they're loaded top to bottom. The pitching staff, the rotation, they always deal with injuries, but they have enough depth that they should be able to survive it. Obviously, they have a great lineup. They have the best player in the world. There's really no holes in the team. I mean, obviously, again, you can point to injuries, you can point to potential attrition, and how is that going to weaken them? And are they going to be vulnerable in that regard? But overall, given their depth, given their resources, and given their talent level, they're clearly the class of the division, of the NL, I would say of the entire league. And the only drawback to that is if you're a bettor looking to get in on some action for them, there's simply no value. I mean, you got to get real creative to find value with anything betting on the Dodgers, because otherwise it just, it's priced in. Their talent is priced into all their lines. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, and in addition to their season win total, which is the highest of any win total I can ever recall since tracking this, I've definitely seen some 100s and 101s and maybe a 102. I don't ever remember seeing a 104 and a half. And so that's just the nature of the beast here. When you have so many great players, maybe taking them to win the NL at plus 140 is a thing. You never know what could happen in the World Series. That's why I say that, because it's, again, strange things happen. Freddie Freeman doesn't hit a grand slam. Like, you never know how things can change there. But so the daunting task for the rest of this division as they open up camp and get ready to play some spring training games is who is second, Matt, behind the Dodgers. There's a couple of really good candidates, and then just depends on how you feel about the Giants. But let's start with the Padres, at least for the time being. Kind of quiet off season for them. Their owner passed away last year. There was this battle between who's going to own the team and not, and so naturally that puts the finances in a little bit of a bind. Seems like they worked that out, and they did sign Nick Pivetta to a 4-year, $55 million contract. But the postseason is going to be the deal for this team. Like, to think that you can win the division, I'm not saying it's far-fetched, anything can happen, but their win total is 85.5, so that tells you they're supposed to be a pretty good team.
Yeah, and I think they are, and I think we saw that last year. We saw how they pushed the Dodgers, and at one point there's a lot of people thinking, hey, this is the year they're going to break through. They're actually going to do it, and they weren't quite able to finish the job, but they are very talented. They have pitching, they have hitting, they kind of have it all. I think this cloud sort of hangs over them, though, with all the rumors about needing to shed payroll, and is this guy going to be gone, and is that guy going to be gone, and it worries you a little bit if you're looking to get in on them early, that if this starts slowly, if this starts poorly, are they going to sort of, not throw in the towel completely, but are they going to sort of throttle it back and look to make some moves and save a little money? But overall, talented team, like you said, quiet off season. I think a lot of times when people are approaching, preseason predictions or looking to get some preseason bets down, they really like the teams that shook things up a lot. There's a little bit more imagination when you have a team like that, and the Padres didn't do that. So, maybe they're getting slept on a little bit, honestly, because the talent's there to once again make a very deep run in the postseason.
Yeah, 85.5 is their win total, and to win the NL, they're 12-1. To win the World Series, they are 26-1. And the Padres have been that team that has given the Dodgers fits.
Yep.
But there are 162 games, not like 15. And so that's the deal. The Dodgers may beat up on everybody else. All right, now, let's go to another team in the NL West real quick, where I think the major move, of course, was adding Willy Adames to the San Francisco Giants lineup. But really the bigger move, I think, Matt, I don't know if you agree or not, was changing up the front office, where Buster Posey is now running the Giants. And so they did make some moves, but they've had a really hard time acquiring talent through free agency. It just seems like a lot of players don't want to sign with them. The strength of the team will be their rotation, where they added Justin Verlander, as we would probably call him their third starter, maybe their fourth. Logan Webb is great. Robbie Ray, when healthy, is great. Hicks had a really good start to last season, and Kyle Harrison, once upon a time, was thought to be an ace. He'll slot in as their fifth starter, but certainly just hard to generate offense in that park. And I wonder if Buster Posey changing the way that they view players and doing things make this a better team or worse. I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, that's just it. It's a transition year, and like you said, the pitching is there. And anytime a team has pitching, that's going to keep them in every game. Then you need to generate just enough offense, and you can have one of those runs. You can have a really good year with that kind of formula. Is this team that team? I don't know. It's tough to look at them in the division they're in and feel overly confident about them. But this is a bit of a transition year, like you said, and I think it'll be interesting to watch from afar. I don't think a wild card's out of the question by any means, but definitely not a team that I'm over the top excited about for a pennant or anything beyond that.
Yeah, 79.5 is their season win total. And the reason why it is under 80 is because there's another team that has a higher win total than them. And that, Matt, is the Arizona Diamondbacks, who acquired Corbin Burns this past offseason. We'll leave the Rockies out for another day or another conversation. But, certainly there is just as good a chance as Arizona finishing second in this division as San Diego. I think that's kind of the way it lines up with the Dodgers being fourth.
Yeah, I agree. And this is a team that made some improvements in the offseason. Again, kind of what I was saying, people look at that and get excited. But the other thing you got to remember with this team is you got an MVP candidate player in Corbin Carroll who had a down year. So just that sort of internal improvement can really raise the floor, raise the ceiling of this team. When you add in, bringing in an ace like Corbin Burns, this is the team I think a lot of people are looking at that can really make a run, can potentially challenge the Dodgers in the postseason. And I think the ingredients are there for that too. Don't want to get overly excited about a team just because they made some moves, but they're very talented.
Our friends in Denver, Matt, are going to be upset with us. We apologize. We'll get to the Rockies another day. Thanks for coming on, Matt. Appreciate it.
Thank you.